Hurricane season's quickly approaching, and a lot of people along the Gulf and the East Coast, well, they're making preparations. Fox 85's David Tillman's special look now at how the tropical storms can impact us right here. David.
Absolutely, Brian. Once those storms make landfall, they sometimes can track inland as they become a post-tropical cyclone or an extratropical cyclone. And as they do so, they can bring impacts to areas such as right here in northeast Indiana and northwest Ohio. These storms are capable of bringing tropical storm force well away from the coast, as well as flooding rainfall, perhaps even a few tornadoes with it as well. In fact, right behind me are a couple of storms that folks may remember tracking towards northeast Indiana in the past couple of decades. Ike was one that may really stick in a couple of people's minds. This is a picture as it was right over Indiana. This was September 14th. This was just one day after it made landfall in Texas as a Category 2 hurricane. It tracked with tropical storm force winds all the way through northeast Indiana into northwest Ohio and Michigan as well. It brought 3 to 5 inches of rain across parts of northern Indiana, as you can see right here. That brought issues for the toll roads and flooding issues for cities across Indiana. Wind damage destroyed crops, especially across southern Indiana. It also produced structural damage as well, and this caused over 300,000 customers to lose power across Indiana. And in Ohio, that was an even greater number, over 2 million. Now, the other storm we have on here that is in red, that is Tropical Storm Alberto, that actually tracked towards Indiana in 2018 as a tropical depression. That brought depression-force winds to the state, along with 1 to 2 inches of rainfall in a couple of spots, and that even caused a tornado to touch down in Ohio with it. So even though these storms, we think of them primarily, like you said, Brian, as an East Coast threat or a Gulf Coast threat, but they can track inland. They can impact us as well. So we definitely have reason to pay attention to these forecasts and monitor the tropics throughout the season. So Brian and Beverly, with that, I will send it back to you guys.
All right, thank you for that, David. It's always good to know just how weather elsewhere impacts us here in our area, and it's quite fascinating. It's all connected, really.
Yes, absolutely, and it just shows you that the atmosphere is just definitely a fluid, and what happens elsewhere can also impact us.
Absolutely.